Joining us now to discuss U.S. President Donald Trump's major blow to the Iran nuclear deal is Dr. Mordechai Kedar, who served for over 25 years in the IDF military intelligence. Thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure.
So, does the U.S. Congress have grounds to change this deal?
Of course. They have a lot of information about Iran's attempts to acquire materials which definitely show that they are continuing with a military nuclear program.
Well, I guess the larger question here is what will the ramifications of Trump's speech have on the Middle East as a whole now?
Well, it all depends on the credibility of what he said. Because so far we heard words, speeches. Now, in the Middle East, people look for the actions. What real actions will be taken in sanctions, in all kinds of maybe military actions against Iranian mercenaries, like in Yemen or in Syria or in Iraq, as some kind of a grip which starts to fasten itself around the necks of the Ayatollahs, and at the end of the day, maybe even a hit against Iran in order to show Iran who is here the owner of the place.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Iran and Israel. You know, do you think that Iran has now somehow been emboldened to ignore the American threats that it's received and pursue even more violent means towards Israel?
I don't think so, because the Iranians, actually the speech of Rouhani expresses fear. They are afraid because they start thinking that America does not want to be anymore a paper tiger as it became through the last 9 years by President Obama. Now they are afraid that America really means business, and they have to act in a way which will not aggravate the Americans too much. After all, don't forget that the United States intelligence organizations have all the evidence needed in order to show Trump the connection between North Korea and Iran, especially when it comes to nuclear issues and missiles, ballistic missiles.
Now, we're seeing, like in the story beforehand, that Netanyahu is, putting his support behind President Trump, but not all Israeli officials are on board. How do Israeli officials view Trump's move? For the most part, Minister of Intelligence Affairs, Israel Katz, recently mentioned that such a move could lead to a war. What is your take on that?
Look, a war is bad. But the worst is a nuclear war. So if it means today entering some kind of a war without nukes in Iran, it is much better than entering a war in 10 years or even less with Iran when Iran has nuclear weapons. So this is why war, although it is a bad thing, yet it might be a good step in the near future rather than a bad step in the far future.
Right, but not all Israeli security experts are on board with just eliminating this deal. What do you think, in a very short answer, because we're running out of time, is the best move to make in regards to stopping Iran from gaining nuclear power?
First of all, sanctions, political sanctions and economic sanctions. And if it doesn't work, yet to hit the facilities of Iran or the nuclear facilities. This is essential.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us,
Pleasure.
Dr. Kedar.